Welcome to the Extreme Underground, the show where I take a look at some of the most disturbing and controversial films in the world of cinema. Today I'll be talking about Z for Zygote from ABCs of Death 2. A lot of people ask me what I think the most disturbing movie of all time is. This is one of them. Usually my first answer is Snowtown because of the way that it makes me feel, but Z for Zygote is one of those movies that has stuck with me since I first watched it back in 2015. At the time it almost made me sick from the subject matter, but it's the long-term effects on me and my thoughts ever since that make this truly one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen. And what's most shocking is it's a short film. It's only 7 minutes. This is the final entry on ABCs of Death Part 2. The ABCs of Death movies are an anthology where 26 directors are given a letter of the alphabet. They come up with a word that starts with their letter and make a short film based on it. Each director is given a small budget and complete creative freedom. These short films come from all over the world and range from completely goofy like F is for fart, one of the Japanese shorts from the first entry, to insanely creative and disturbing films like this one. So let's break it down. This film starts with an establishing shot. It's a cabin in a remote area in the middle of winter. A pregnant woman is crying, asking her husband Ty not to leave her, knowing that she's going to be having a baby soon. Ty said he's been talking to a midwife and hands over some Portlock root, which is said to slow down labor. Against her wishes, he leaves her alone. 13 years pass. The pregnant woman is on the floor, surrounded by these empty jars that once contained the root. She crawls around the disgusting floor, screaming for her husband. As she makes her way outside, dragging what seems to be a massive tumor, we hear it speak.
Is it him, Mama?
It's her 13-year-old child, now fully grown inside of her. The woman crawls outside and sees a cat that she has trapped. She kills it with a hammer and starts preparing it for dinner, as her child asks if she can come out yet.
You should let me come out then.
The mother hasn't been giving birth because she's afraid that the child will run away and leave her, just like her husband. She wakes up screaming in pain, potentially labor pains, as she scrambles to find some more root to prolong her pregnancy.
Calm down, Mama. You gotta let me come out now.
As she lays on the floor crying in pain, you can see the child start to move around. You can see her slowly repositioning herself underneath her mother's skin. The daughter, trying to calm down the mother, says that she's not going to leave her, but she needs more room.
I won't leave you, Mama. I just need more room, okay?
And she begins to crack her mother's bones from the inside, almost immediately killing her. One by one, you can see the bones of the mother break underneath her skin as the child forces them out of her mouth along with her insides and intestines, so she has more room to grow. This is one of the most disgusting and most graphic scenes that I've ever seen in any film. Not only from the amazing practical effects, but the disturbing sound design as each bone breaks and she sloshes around under the skin in this fleshy vessel that used to be her own mother. Once she's done, she proudly announces,
See, Mama? Now there's room for both of us.
You can see the child repositioning and struggling as she slips into her new flesh suit before she gets up and starts to walk around the house. She goes to a bedroom and she cuts off the extra skin. She sews up her stomach and disposes of her mother's remains with a bucket in the field. Now comfortable in her own skin, so to speak, she rocks back and forth on the porch, waiting for Ty to come home. More time passes and the husband arrives. The woman explains that she waited as long as she could, but she couldn't take it anymore and had to cut the baby out herself, and shows Ty the scar on her stomach. Ty approaches her and just says,
Then we'll just have to try again,
before he undresses her, and the film ends. As you can see, this is a disturbing movie through and through. Not only from the practical effects side, which is disgusting in its own right, but from the sheer concept of having somebody grow inside of you for that long and take over the mother's body. This has screwed with my head for so long, and while I didn't really have an issue with pregnancy before, since I've watched this, pregnancy absolutely disgusts me. Like, some of my friends have gotten pregnant over the last couple years, and I just can't be around them because it grosses me out so much because I'm constantly thinking of this specific film. I tried to look up if there was a name for this, and the closest I could find was tocophobia, which is more about complications during pregnancy that a woman might have and not the fear of somebody growing inside of you. But I have that now. I personally didn't even really like babies before, but now pregnancy itself just scares the shit out of me. Now I understand that this couldn't possibly happen, but the idea of a person growing inside of you is just disgusting to me, and I'll likely never have a child because of it. Back to the film, it's got a great grimy atmosphere. It's extremely well done. done from a cinematic standpoint. The lighting is excellent, and the way that they use close-up shots to really show the detail of what's happening as this woman is being broken from the inside just makes you uncomfortable. And like I previously mentioned, the sound design is top-notch. In fact, right before I filmed this, I watched this again with my headphones on, and I almost threw up because of the sounds themselves. This is a film that I'll likely never watch again, but I had to because I wanted to make this video. If there are any criticisms, it could be the way that the voice sounds or the husband's acting, but you get nitpicky at that point. I think this is extremely well done, so I have to give this 4.5 empty jars out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you have any, do want to check it out. Links are in the description. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything here on the Extreme Underground.